Hello,
Hi,
and welcome to our podcast called,
Frame Within a Frame Explained. I'm one of your hosts, Tay.
and I'm your other host, Shay. I always forgot my name, but it's okay. I'm gonna move on. How was your week?
Well, my week's brilliant right now, thank you. That just made my day. No, I'm good. Yeah, my week's been going well. It's Bank Holiday Monday tomorrow. We didn't get to
Yeah.
lie in, watch more Scandal, watch
Oh
more
my
films.
god,
No,
Scandal has
Apologies for
been.
Vice. But
Yeah.
yeah, my week's been good. Just revision. Gotta love sixth form life.
Mm.
Yeah, how's your week been?
It hasn't been too bad. Like I said, like a couple podcasts before, I'm making a film. It's like my
Yeah.
final FMP. I said final FMP. It's my FMP final major project. And yeah, so we're in like the production week. So I've been filming on Thursday and Friday last week. And to be honest, I'm actually really looking forward to the end outcome of the film because those filming days went really well because the actors we had.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I feel like, when you have like a good set of like actors and stuff and your vision is brought to life, you can really see the end product being really good. So I feel like the director may be happy with what was like put out on that day. So I'm looking forward to like editing it and stuff. Like I don't always like I'm the type of person who doesn't really look forward to editing. One, because I'm not good at it, and two, it's because sometimes what you have to like put together is not always the best. So I feel like with this film, compared to my last FMP, I do think I'm gonna enjoy it a bit more.
Good.
Doesn't mean the last one was bad. It's just
It
that
just means
this,
this one was good.
yeah. But like moving on, today we're gonna be speaking about Trauma Part 2. So would you like to go first?
Yeah. So yeah, for this one I watched your film, which is Smile.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I really like this film,
Mm.
but I'll break it down more than that. But
Mm.
I'll first of all start by saying horror isn't usually my type of genre. Like I
Yeah.
won't go out of my way to watch it. Whereas with thriller I will.
Yeah.
And so I kind of knew that I was getting involved with like a mystery, some type of maybe like supernatural, something like that, maybe. So I watched the trailer first. So I was like, okay, I know what it's about.
Mm.
So it wasn't like, oh my days, I wasn't expecting this. So, but which was
Mm.
good. Anyway, so I would definitely say that this film had so many jump scares in at
Mm.
least every single scene.
Yeah.
And oh my days, it just adds to the suspense that kept happening. And
Yeah.
like in every single scene, there was like a jump scare. And that definitely kept me engaged in the film and what I was seeing.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when, okay, kind of a spoiler, kind of not, because I think it's in the trailer, but I also don't think it is.
It
But
doesn't
anyway,
matter.
um, we see that like our main protagonist that her cat has been killed,
Mm.
and oh my gosh, that got to me. And I'm not sure if it's because I have a cat. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, there's too much. I'm going to start crying. Anyway, it's fine. But that really got to me thinking, I don't know if I can continue watching this film knowing what has just happened.
Bruh.
Because I remember watching a film not long ago, and basically this man's dog, he got trapped in the past somehow. Anyway, that's a whole other film that I'll talk about another
Okay.
time. But basically, he can time travel, and his dog was stuck in the past.
Okay.
And that got to me. And it's all I can remember about that film. And all I can remember about Smile is that this woman's cat has been killed. I know that's not really what the film is about, but that stayed with me. And that is traumatic. Anyway, other than that,
Yeah.
I really liked the film. But that part really got to me.
Mm.
I would say though, um, that the dialogue and even the plot at times did feel quite flat
Yeah.
and like monotone, and it's quite not monotone, and it's quite dull in a way.
Mm,
Whereas what we were seeing, like visually, that was better than the dialogue that was being said.
mm,
But I say the whole overall narrative of the film was good and it was engaging, definitely due to the jump scares,
mm.
but it was very good because like the I guess smile or like that evil person,
Grin, yeah.
yeah, it just they play on I guess the victim's past trauma and pain and fear. And it
Yeah.
wasn't until you watch the whole film that you get that.
Mm,
Because when I first started watching it, I was like, okay, so this smile, this grin kind of person is just targeting anybody. But then
yeah.
it's like, they're targeting people who have past trauma, past fear, past pain. And it's
Mm.
so, like, what's the word? It's so deep within them. Like, it's something deep. I don't explain it more than that. And I was like, wow, that's
I like
kind of a lot.
I feel like the thing is it was getting people who in society's like view, I guess, were normal people. Like the woman was normal. She wasn't like visibly going through anything.
Yes.
But by the end of the film, she looked like the people you would think society, I don't know, but yeah, would
I
like
know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, would like see these people who are struggling type of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like in for me personally, I feel like the film did a good job in that, how it showed us both views of like the person who, even though may be struggling, we think is succeeding and is fine and totally okay, to the opposite side where this person is visibly struggling, but we're not gonna give them help and yada yada, like they're a crazy person and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like I liked how the film kind of goes through, not goes through, but goes in depth with like exploring those stereotypes. And
Yeah.
I feel like we don't have a lot of films like that nowadays, where maybe there is more films like that, but like the fact that we see someone who's like on top go to all the way to the bottom,
Yeah.
and kind of realize that even before, where she wasn't kind of empathizing with these people who were struggling and asked for help and she didn't provide them the help they need, to now being that person who needs the help. And I thought that the film did a good job on that. I enjoyed that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that this is a film that we both definitely really liked.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Um,
What would you say about like my film, the Luckiest Girl Alive?
I was gonna ask you a question as well. I was gonna ask you if you could do the rating for the
Oh
film.
yeah, yeah, okay. So out of 10, I would say 8.5. Maybe 8 because horror it's not my type of
Mm,
film.
fair
But
enough.
it's between 8 and 8.5. Like I don't know if I would watch it again
Mm,
only because I know what's happened
mm,
and it's like I don't know, I probably would watch it again because you'd see things differently.
yeah.
So I'll go 8.5. Yeah, it was a good
Would
film.
you change anything? Oh, and would you?
Um,
Oh, yeah. Go on.
I don't know if I would change anything. There's
Mm,
things that I didn't like with the cat,
yeah.
but it need I'm sorry, but it
Yeah.
needed to have happened for like a character development and for I don't know why it had to happen, but I get it. Anyway, so I don't think I would change anything.
And would you
Um,
recommend it to someone?
yeah, definitely, I would definitely recommend it.
Mm.
But I would definitely tell people what to expect and just be like, watch the trailer and warn you because it
Yeah.
is traumatic because it does go on like um people's past trauma and pain and fears and stuff like that. So it's just to warn people, but I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah. And I was also gonna say about that film as well. If it stays in my brain now, I feel like, oh, it probably did just go up my head. I like how it shows that it doesn't have to be those type of people who look like they're crushing and burning. It can be people who like have successful lives and have like a boyfriend or girlfriend or have like a nice home and have a pet, sorry,
Sorry.
and stuff. Like they could look like they're thriving, but they could honestly be suffering in pain.
Yeah.
Um, a lot. I remember like this year alone, a lot of people have like passed away, and just realizing that a lot of people are suffering in silence. And even though they look like they're happy and enjoying their lives, like you really don't know what they're going through. And I feel like as a group of people, we really need to like be looking out for like I don't even know what the term is normally used, but like your passenger or whatever they say in school or whatever. But like you really need to be looking out for the next person.
Yeah.
And I feel like even if those people don't need say they don't need help or say they're doing fine, it's like the little things of just checking up on them, you know, because even though from like even past experience, even though we say that we don't want help, we actually are needing help. And it's like we've been shut away from that type of help for so long. It's like it's pointless even asking at this point. So I think definitely for an advice to everyone listening, do check on the people around you, and if you are suffering, please ask for help or try and seek help in some way, because will be people who will want to listen and try and help you, even if you think there's no way they can help you. So I think that film is good in that
Yeah.
sense.
I think so too.
But moving on to my film, um, which is another really, really hard hitting like type of film. It's not
Yeah.
horror, but
No.
it honestly could be. Um, because damn, I was not expecting when you told me this film, I really wasn't expecting it to be so deep.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, okay, it was already deep because I all you told me was that it was like um if this triggers anyone, but like a school like shooting thing.
Yeah.
Um and I was like, okay, I remember hearing another film that came out recently, not too recently, but recently, like a similar premise. So I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll be okay. And
I
then
can. Yeah.
but I didn't know how to battle that and also battle the fact that unfortunately the person who was a part of that thing was also assaulted. And
Yes.
and I was just like, Jesus, okay, that's what I'm in for. I like when it came to the like that scene, because I
Yeah.
had a feeling something was coming up. And I
Yeah.
was just like, whoa. Like I didn't expect that storyline to be a part of the original
That's
storyline you told
yeah.
me.
And I
So
think that that's so crazy because when you're watching it, it's like, okay, it's a school shooting film, and
yeah.
then this as well. It's like,
Yeah.
give me like, wow.
I was like, anyway, I think the like films like this are really hard to tackle, and
Yeah.
there's there's a way to get it right, and I feel like this film did it right. There
Yeah.
were moments where I was like cringed. I really cringed at some moments. I think it was the moment towards the end where she was like, I don't know what she said. Completely forgot, but she was like cussing out the woman towards the end. It was a
Yeah.
really weird comeback, but I was like, yes, you tell her. You tell her,
Yeah.
girl.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I was like, okay. But I feel like the film, with the topics that they were dealing with hand, I think the film did it really well. And it reminded me of another film that I remember watching called Promising Young Woman.
Yeah.
And I really liked that film. And I felt like for this film, Luckiest Girl Alive, I felt like it did a what's it called? I like the fact that it was from I don't even want to use the victim word, but from the person who experienced that experience like point of view instead of it being
Yeah.
like from the friend's point of view or from the mother, the brother, the sister, whoever else it was from, apart from that actual person who lived
Yeah.
that
Person.
experience. I feel like it's so much easier to just do someone else than the actual person. And sometimes when they do the actual person, it's like I remember mentioning it in another podcast where it's like what's it called? What's that genre of films called? Um like it's the Us Are Red avenge revenge films where it's literally the person. I think it's a set of horror films where the person who gets assaulted
Mm.
like either died, like gets unalive and
Yeah.
like comes back, and then they go in like a hunting spree of like finding the um assaulters and like killing them and stuff,
Oh.
getting revenge basically.
Yeah.
I think it was, I don't know the term of the terminology that people use for it. I remember
Yeah.
saying it last podcast. I can't remember which one, but I remember saying it, and I wrote about it for the film that I'm doing now, because I was doing like violence against women. That was my research process. So I was talking about that genre, and I was like, oh yeah, because I was watching the film during that time. So I was like, damn, this film just came at the perfect time when I was writing
Yeah.
about this. So I actually lost track of what I was saying, but I'll move back to what I was saying. Yeah, I feel like this film is really good for the fact that it focuses on that person and not through other people, because I feel like it's so important to know that person's experience more than how it affected other people around them. Is like I don't want I do like it's cool to understand how everyone else felt around like that person if that
Yeah.
person's like not here anymore with them and stuff. But I feel like it's better to have stories of people who really um who are alive and who are, you know, like getting through life with that lived experience, like being able to move on from that experience. And I think like this film really what's it called? The film is like it kind of advocates to people who are trying to move on or struggling to move on basically from that experience, and trying to see their life past that and not being only known as the person who got assaulted by these people um and stuff. And I feel like that is really important to like show that there's a life after that experience. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying people don't know that already, but I'm just saying like it helps people maybe feel like they're not alone, because it is a lonely experience. Like, um, that is a terrific thing to go through, and I wish no one had to go through that.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, some people have. And it's the type of thing where films like who do truly try to honor those people, I feel like kudos to you. Like, yeah, well done. And I feel like um give credit where credit is due. And I feel
Yes.
like it's such a tough thing even for actors to portray that role and to convey to the like an audience of people, some people in those audience stories. And so I feel like it's very powerful, and I feel like the film did a really good job. I would recommend it, but I would recommend it to people who can stomach it, because like I said, it's a really hard like film to watch. Like like I said, not only is it about um a school shooting, it's also about someone who's got assaulted by a group of people, um where that experience is a reality for some people, and I wish that wasn't a thing. But I think for this, for people to educate and learn and grow, It's definitely
So
one
would
of
you
those.
recommend this film then?
Yeah.
Or yeah, okay.
So it's definitely a, I would say for those who can manage it, I would give the film like a 9 or an 8.
Yeah.
Because it is, like I said, a quite powerful film. And I feel like it is important to watch these type of films. Like, you don't have to watch it when you're having a good day or having a bad day. I don't know if it ruins
Yeah.
the mood and stuff, but I think it's just one of those films where it reminds us that we need to do more in our society to make sure that the people around us are safe and whatever. Um and it educates us that um like for one of the characters in the film, the guy that she's getting married to and whatever,
Yeah.
I feel like as much as he feels like he was doing like good by her, I feel
Yeah.
like he was just condescending and like
Belittling
manipulative.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't think, and I feel like if you feel like you're in a better relationship now, but if that person's not helping you move on, just wants you to forget that it even happened in the first place, it doesn't really
Yeah.
help you heal. And it's not about forgetting, it's about moving and healing and being able to kind of manage after that. And I feel like that is not the way to deal with something like that. And even though when he's trying to make her saying that, oh, you'd be great if you do this. I feel like he just wanted to control her and control the
Yeah.
narrative. And I feel like if you're in a situation like that, like damn, this film was dealing with so many topics.
It
Like,
was.
it wasn't just only to dealing with the two, it was dealing with abusive relationship. It was
Yeah.
oh my God. And I was so happy she got out of that because as much as I wanted to believe he was a good guy, I don't think he really wasn't. He really wasn't.
Yeah.
And if anyone's in that, I know it's hard to get out of it. Clearly, it was really hard for her because she was gonna get married to him, and I was so scared. I was like, no, 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 don't get married.
Yeah.
And I feel like if someone's not helping you heal, and they're just making you feel worse, and stuff. I feel like for him, it was like you need, especially if you have a partner who's lived through that experience, you need to come to an understanding what they're going through. It's not going
Yeah.
to be easy for them. And if you can't be bothered to support them, you just want them to forget it like it never happened. That's gonna be it. It's like, when people just throw words to you, like, forget it. It's not even that deep. Like, it happened like
Yeah.
years ago. Like, yes, it is that deep. And
And yes.
even though it even happened to me years ago, I can't forget that. Like,
Yeah.
how do you expect me to forget that? And I feel like that's so disrespectful. You are not respecting them and their experiences, and you're not respecting the fact that they're struggling. And that's what it even links back to the other film, like in society, not really acknowledging people, even no matter if they're succeeding or failing or whatever they look like, whatever the race, sexuality, yada, 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 all of that stuff. Like, we should still give help where help is needed. And I feel like he was definitely not doing a good job. Like, fuck him and goodbye. Good riddance. Good loss. So yeah, I feel like the film overall, there's not much to say about certain scenes of the film, but yeah, it did well. I think I already said I would give the rating like a 9. Yeah, so I'll give the
Yeah,
film
you
a
did.
9. I would definitely recommend it. If there's anything I would change, I don't know. I feel like, oof, I don't think there's films like this is really hard to say what I would change. If it doesn't do it well, then I would say try and do it better. But
Yeah.
for this film, I think it did really well because it's like one of those hard type of things where what can you change? It's like if even if I said, oh, maybe stick to one subject, for a lot of people, they go through like really
Many.
traumatizing
Yeah.
things. So this could be someone's real life experience. And
Yeah.
I don't know if the film is a true story or not. I think it might be. I'm not sure.
I think it's based on true events, but yeah, it still means
Yeah.
it's true though.
Yeah,
It
so
is
I feel
quite- yeah.
like there's no part of the story where I want to take part because this can be the reality for so many people. Like they could be in an abusive relationship. They could have lived through an experience of an intruder coming into their school and yada yada, and like they could have been like gone through an experience where they did get assaulted during their school years or whatever year, you know. So I feel like there's nothing I would want to take away or change because as a collective, the film did it so well. Everything down to the discussions she was having, the parts where she couldn't control how she felt around her husband because it felt like the scenes when they were being intimate, she couldn't be intimate with him because it just brought back trauma. I love the flashback scenes. I do want to say the fact that I said this to you after watching it. The fact that the young actress who plays the young actress, and then it was just like they don't look anything alike. They don't look anything alike, and I was just like, how are these people the same? Like how that's not the younger version of her. Okay. I would change that. That was what I would change.
Yeah, bad on casting.
The casting director on that part was woof.
Like the acting for like themselves, like they were good, but I know what you mean. They don't it's like, oh, that's supposed to be your younger version. Oh, that's supposed to be your older version of you.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I think I rather it's the type of thing, would you rather risk the lookalike but the person's like bad at acting, or would you rather have the good actor and the person doesn't look like the other person?
Good acting, because they can have similarities. Because I think that's what they tried to do, that they had similarities, and maybe in how they may say certain words or how they may act, obviously because they're acting. But I think there's ways to get around it, and in this film they've managed to do that. Like
it wasn't
annoying, but once you kind of got over it, it's like, oh, okay, this is her older version and this is her younger version. Just continue watching it.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but it was just like for a second when you saw it, it was like, oh, sham, okay, cool. That's how a younger lookalike looks like. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, overall, I do think the film is really good. Most of the things you said in the last podcast about the film is basically been said. I don't need to break the film down. But yeah, I enjoyed this film. And yeah, that's the end of today's episode. Stay tuned for the next one. Yay!